You ready or what?
Yeah, I am. Well, I'm always ready. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I got special one today. Hold on a minute. Even I'm the truck. I'm driving the truck. Always on the. You know, I gotta be on the vibe at least something like that.
I like that, man. You'd be a great fighter, I think, man. What weight class would you be in?
Probably one. If I don't want to cut too much weight, probably 145, or if I want, kind of like Sean O'Malley, 135.
Oh man, you can take those guys too. You'd be a champ quickly.
Bastek,
Ahmed,
bastan Bastek though.
do.
No, go ahead.
We got some good bloopers in here too.
Yeah. What's
So,
up, guys? The Bas Kitkal.
what's up, everybody? I'm Agin from the Fighters Republic. Have my guy Nurmahamed Nurmashallah. He's got the UFC gloves on. He's ready to get it going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thanks for the podcast. This is our second episode, guys. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, The Fighters Republic. This is our new project. It will be very great project. So make sure you guys subscribe again. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, make sure we subscribe. We're going to be working on some documentaries with some fighters. This is just some small stuff right now, but we're getting it going. But I want to talk about the next event. We had a good event last one, UFC 311. I think we were all pretty satisfied. The main event had a crazy change, but it was okay. But the next one we're looking forward to is UFC Saudi. So that's coming up with Adesanya and Imamov. But Mohammed, why don't you break down the prelims? I know there's some fights you want to talk about.
Yeah. So we got very good fights set it up for UFC Saudi as a main event. As we know, it's a middleweight bout. Uh, the former two-time middleweight champion, the legend of the game, one of the greatest, best middleweights in the history of the UFC, Israel Adesanya taking on the upcoming the one of the upcoming guys, French Dagestani, as Americans say love to say, French Dagestani Nasruddin Imavov. It would be a very good fight, and we got the co-main event in the middleweight division as well. Upcoming guy, Dagestani again, but not the wrestler usual, but the very good striker, very good kickboxing. Sharabuddin Magomedov, if we're gonna say officially his name, and taking on the MVP Michael Venom Page. He's coming up to the next division. As we know, MVP usually fights at the 170, but this time he signed up for co-main event for UFC Saudi against Shara Magomedov.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. I'm looking forward to that. I think that might be fight of the night for sure. I think
I hope so too. I agree with you, 100%.
But we also got Sergey Pavlovich, who lost to Tom Aspinall last time. He's fighting Jorginho Rosenstrike. I think that also has the potential to be the fight of the night.
I I'm down for that too. Actually, as we know, the Pavlovich coming to two losses streak to Tom Aspinall, and also to um, since his last fight in last year against Alexander Volkov, so he's coming two losses. But the Jairzinho Rosenstrike, if I'm not wrong, he's coming from the win. If I'm not wrong, he fought last time against Tai Tuivasa. I think it was a UFC 305 in Australia. So yeah, it should be a very good fight. Top 10 guys. So hopefully it would be the one of the exciting fights in this main card.
Yeah, that's going to be a beautiful fight.
Hey,
Um,
Alan, what we got for prelims?
I mean, prelims. I think you should break it down. You know these fights, and I know you got some things to talk about. So,
Sure.
which one?
Yep.
Let's get it in.
Uh, yep.
I know you wanted to talk about the women's flyweight bout. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think that fight was one of the latest added fights to this card to UFC Saudi. You know, a top 15 fighter fighting of Canada, Jasmine Jasvicis. She's on the fire right now. She's on the winning streak, as we know. And then she's fighting the former bantamweight title challenger who was not one of the top five right now still from Argentina, if I'm not wrong, or oh, no, from Brazil. I'm sorry,
Brazil, yeah.
yeah, from Brazil, Mayra Bueno Silva. So the he, uh, I mean, Mayra Bueno Silva usually fights at 135, but this time she's down for 125. So I think it would be a very good fight. And then, um, as we know, the Jasmine Jasudavicius has the very good wrestling, very good jiu-jitsu, very good striking. Ground and pound is nasty, to be honest, very nasty. So, and then as we know, the Mayra Bueno Silva is she's a, and as every Brazilian fighter has, she's got the very good jiu-jitsu, very good, wrestling, kind of like very good jab on boxing. But in this fight, I'm rooting for. I think Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's gonna get the job done. I think it could go to the distance for 3 rounds, but I think the Jasmine Jasudavicius could be. I think she's gonna win by TKO, but submission probably in the round three.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think these women's fights are getting more and more exciting. So UFC's done a great job with all the women's matchups they've been doing. Yeah, Jasmine's on a 6-fight win streak, so I see her keeping her win streak going, and we'll see what happens. That'll be an exciting one. I think that's the only women's fight on this card. So, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think so too. But we have to mention that a lot of MMA fans are even the fighters when they break down the fights for women's MMA, they usually take a break, take a lunch, as we see on the YouTube channels. On their contents, going to break or going to eat something like drinking or kind of like those kind of stuff. But
Right.
I would say some of the fighters, especially when Jasmine Jasudavicius on the card, everybody should watch her fights, you know, and I would definitely recommend to the fans of the UFC to watch her fights, especially this bout, Jasudavicius against Mayra Bueno Silva. Let's go, guys.
Yes, sir. You heard it. You heard it from my guy right here. So I know this is a fight. This other fight you've been wanting to talk about, the men's lightweight bout against Zion versus Mike Davis.
Yeah, Fares Liam and Mike Davis. Yeah, French. The coming from France, we know. If you guys never heard about the Fares Ziam from France, he's a very exciting fighter. He's a very good Muay Thai guy, very good kickboxing. Um, if you guys didn't watch his fight, let's just go to the YouTube and put a Fares Ziam against Matt Frivola. That fight was happening in UFC Paris in last September. That fight was very good fight, and then he finished the Met Frivola was standing with the knee to the face, like standing kind of like Muay Thai style finish. So he's a very tall, very rangy, very very long. He's got very good reach. Um, and then Mike Davis is a very good striker too. But I think in this fight, I'll take the Fares DM as a winner. I think he's gonna get the job done with probably with the TKO or any kind of knockout, or it could be a submission because the Fares Yam's jiu-jitsu is very high level too.
Yeah, I see Zion winning too. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Excuse me, but his last loss was against Terrence McKinney, who's also on this card. He's fighting Damir Hadzovic. And what do you think about this? I mean, Terrence has started his career with a win streak, and he's had some bad losses. He's been knocked out brutally. He's been on some highlight knockouts. And what do you think? You think he's gonna get it going again, or
This fight, yeah, I'm down for this fight too. Actually, Terence McKinney against Damir Hadzovic, right?
yeah?
Yeah. But as we know, he's on the kind of like dark side of the um streak. I mean, I'm talking about the Terence McKinney. He's been losing a lot right now in his last fights. But I think there is a big chance that Terence McKinney could come back in this fight for winning, you know, for winning streak again. Like probably in his starting from this fight in going to in another his future fights. Um, but Terence McKinney got the very good striking, very good high level kicking, kickboxing style. As we know, very exciting fight style actually. Um, and then Diamond Hadrovich, I mean, probably the most famous moment of very famous moment of the Damir Hadrovich. It's kind of when he lost to Renato Mani Moicano. When the Moicano submitted in a few seconds, and then they've been going to back and forth, like talking smash, to each other, and then Moicano saying like, "I wanted to fight more," and then he's saying like, "Then you should not submitted me," and then back in the camera, the laugh of the Michael Bisping back in the camera was very, that was the top moment of the UFC live UFC fight night moments. Um, I think in this fight, I'm gonna take the Terence McKinney as a winner. I think he could be he's gonna get the job done with the decision or TKO.
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys need this win. Hadzovic, he's on a 1-2 streak right now, so he definitely he in his past three fights he's only won once, so we'll see what happens with this one. This other one, the heavyweight bout, the last bout of the prelims is going to be Shamil Gaziev against Thomas Peterson. And Shamil's had some good wins. He's lost the big one against Rosenstrike. He got pretty tired. So would you think he's going to keep it going? What do you think about this fight?
I think I mean, UFC got a lot of hope uh, to Shamil Gaziev when he started at the UFC. They I think after just a couple fights, they gave him the main event. Shamil Gaziev, Rosenstrike. I think it was in last year, in the first quarter of the last year. I think it was in March, I believe, or February. He fought against Jair Rosenstrike, and that fight showed us that it's not time yet for Shamil Ghazi for big fights. So I think the fighting with Mike Davis, probably it's gonna give him a lot of experience as well. Probably he's gonna increase his fighting style. Probably he's gonna increase his experience in the UFC. Uh, Mike Davis is a very good fighter too. I know we know that he's got a very good, exciting style, fighting style, especially on the striking, and then on the, on the wrestling too. So it's kind of hard, tough fight. I think it could go to either way, 50-50. But I think probably a I would say I don't know, like 49-51 or whatever you want to say, like 45-55 or 48-52 to Mike Davis. And then I think he's going to get the job done. And then he would be probably, I believe, if he's going to win, very good, very good with very good finish, he's going to get the top 15.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. That's um Thomas Peterson, by the way. I We were talking about the Shamil
Oh,
Ghazi versus Thomas Peterson.
excuse me.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm not. I didn't. I didn't leave the. You know the. I'm still on the UFC 311 vibe, bro.
Yeah, man. You've had a long day as well. So,
Uh,
Thomas Peterson, he's beat Muhammad Usman the last fight, unanimous decision. So this is it's gonna be his third fight in the UFC. So that'll
that's what
be
I'm telling you. It would be very tough fight for both of the guys.
yeah. Let's get into Ikram Aliskerov. So he had a tough loss, against what's his name?
Robert Whittaker last fight.
Yeah, Robert
Last year,
Whitaker's.
the first event is UFC, the first UFC event in Saudi main event. He got very, he got knocked out brutally from Robert Whittaker. I mean, in that fight, I was rooting for Whittaker, and I was so excited when he got the job done. So it was
Yeah,
a
that was
vicious. Now it was a vicious, um, you know, uppercut knockout.
yeah, and I mean that's his second experience with that uppercut. So I see him coming back big from this one. He's fighting Andre Muniz from Brazil. Aliskerov is the favorite right now at -600. So that's going to be a big fight. Um, what do you think about this one? You think Aliskerov's making a comeback?
I think that if you saying like odd makers are thinking that it would be -600, that means like UFC hopes or odd makers hoping that Islam Aliskerov he's gonna get the job done. But as we know, Andre Muniz is one of the very experienced vets in the UFC, so we can't, say that Andre Muniz should be the one of the biggest underdogs in this um, fight night. And I would not agree with that, to be honest. But I think, I believe, I mean, as we know, the Ikram Aliskerov got a lot of couple good knockouts in the UFC, so I believe he's got very good striking, very good kickboxing, Muay Thai style also, and plus, of course, as every Dagestani guys, he's got a very good high level wrestling. Um, and then Andre Muniz, he's got very good jiu-jitsu, um, kickboxing, and then striking as well. But in this fight, I think that Ikram Aliskerov will get the job done, at least with a decision, or in round 3 or round 2, probably TKO.
Yeah, I see it being a knockout too. That's going to be an exciting one. We got another Dagestani on the card too on the bantamweight bout, Saeed Nurmagomedov, and he's the only one who's not related to Habib. So he's fighting Vinicius Oliveira. He's also the favorite on this one. This is going to be an exciting one. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Um, First of all, yeah, as you said, Said Nurmagomedov is not the one of the relatives of Khabib Nurmagomedov, but the Ikram Aliskerov guys, make sure Ikram Aliskerov he trained with the Khabib. The Khabib, he's one of the main coaches of the Ikram Aliskerov. Yeah, going to this fight, I think, and then if we are talking about the Vinicius Junior, not the Vinicius Oliveira, right?
Yes, Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah, Vinicius Oliveira. So Vinicius Oliveira's last fight, it was in last year. If I'm not wrong, it was one of the fight nights in March, and he's got the very good, very nasty knee knockout against Albanian guy who fought already at the UFC 311, and he got the win as well. Uh, he got very good brutal knockout against Bernardo Sopai. In that fight, even the Dana White posted that knockout in his personal social media. I believe it was in IG. Um, so the Vinicius Oliveira's that knockout was one of the best knockouts in 2024, according to the UFC as well. And then very exciting fight, very good fight. Said Nurmagomedov got the very good striking. is not the very good wrestler, but he's got very good kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then standing jiu-jitsu as well. We remember, guys, Said Nurmagomedov submitted one of the Tajikistani guys. If I'm not wrong, it could be Muin Gafurov or either no, no, not
Yeah, it
Muin
was
Gafurov.
Gafurov.
Yeah, I think he submitted the Muin Gafurov, yeah, who fought also at the UFC 311. So he got the standing submission against Muin Gafurov. So that says us that um the Said Nurmagomedov got very good jiu-jitsu as well. And then in this fight, I believe to the hype of the Vinicius Oliveira. So I think he's gonna get the job done with the decision, or at least with the decision, or I believe it could go to the finish, probably TKO or submission. I think in round three, because we remember that the knockout when he knocked out the Bernardo Sopai last year, it was happening when the fight was ending. I think it was a round three, 4 minutes, 55 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it
That
was
fight was that fight was almost ended.
yeah, it was at the last moment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one. I mean, right now Saeed is he's the favorite to win right now. I think he's gonna keep the win streak going. But this is an exciting one. This could also be one of the fight of the nights. I think this card we're gonna see multiple fight of the nights.
And I agree with you, bro. Like, very exciting fight, at 135. So,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's get into the one of the favorite fights on this card, Pavlovich versus Rosenstrike. You know, they're Pavlovich coming from two straight losses. Rosenstrike had a good win last time. Rosenstrike is a vet. You know what I mean? He's a very good fighter. Both of these guys are strikers. I see this could end in the first round for sure. You know, if Pavlovich doesn't get too excited, you know what I mean? He could get knocked out for his third loss, which would be huge for his career. So, what do you think about this bout?
as I understood, you're taking as a winner the Rosenstrike. Am I right?
Oh man, I'm
So,
kind of
as I
seeing
understood, you saying that the Rosenstrike could put the pace to Pavlovich, and then as he did against Shamil Gaziev when they fought at the 5 rounds, so he could put the pace on the Pavlovich, and you saying that probably he's gonna win at least with the decision, right?
Yeah, I think with these last two losses of Pavlovich, you know, these heavyweights are seeing his flaws, you know, so I think they know how to beat him and it can be done, you know. He's a dangerous guy, dangerous man, you know. I think a lot of us thought he might be a champ soon, you know, but with these two losses, you know, we'll see how this goes, but I could see Rosenstrike winning for sure.
In this fight, I mean, if we start like talking about the Rosenstrike, and I totally agree with you that Rosenstrike fought who's who in this division. I think we're talking about the legends of the heavyweight as well. We are talking about the Francis Ngannou. Rosenstrike fought against Derek Lewis. I think he fought also with the Curtis Blades as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he
So
has.
he fought who's who in this division, and then Sergey Pavlovich also he fought with um, a lot of tough guys at the top 10 at that time when he fought. He's been on a very good winning streak. He's been asking to fight with John Jones back in the day. And then, he was a backup fighter for John Jones against Cyril Gane as well. And then he's been almost backup fighter for John Jones, and then Stipe Miocic. The first fight when the fight was canceled. There's a weird situation, guy. That my Siri is talking about. When I said John Jones, the Siri on the iPad is shocked. How crazy is that? Um, calm down, calm down, Siri. We're not talking about John Jones. Um, so um, yeah, and then I think in this fight, I think the Sergey Pavlovich will get the job done probably with the vicious knockout. Uh, I think in the round one, I believe if he's gonna start I think in the pace of the Sergey Pavlovich would be higher than Rosenstrike. And then I believe the striking of the Sergey Pavlovich is better than Rosenstrike. Also, the boxing is better than Rosenstrike. Also, Sergey Pavlovich is the faster than Rosenstrike. Uh, he might not be faster than Tom Aspinall, but I'm pretty sure that he's faster than Rosenstrike. So if he would be on the shape when he fought against Curtis Blades, when he fought against Tai Tuivasa, if he's gonna be on that shape, I believe he's gonna get the job done on the round first with a vicious knockout.
Yeah, I can see that too. Pavlovich needs this win pretty bad, to get that confidence going again. So I think he's got a big chance to win this one. I could see it ending in the first round. If Rosenstrike's able to use those kicks to his advantage, I think it could go all the way to
I
the
mean,
third.
we're talking about the heavyweight MMA. We're talking about the heavyweight fight. So anything could happen. Just a one punch, one kick. I don't know, one ground and pound shot. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's jump into the co-main event. This is one of the most exciting guys in the middle. I think it was welterweight or middleweight.
Middleweight,
I'm
middleweight.
sorry, middleweight. Number 14, Shara Bullet versus number 15, Michael Venom Page, which is his third fight in the UFC. He's 1-1 so far. What do you think this fight's gonna go?
I mean, first of all, credit to MVP that even he's fighting at usually even he fights in a welterweight, he's been down and he started this kind of talk about that he wants to fight Shara Magomedov because Shara Magomedov was calling the Israel Adesanya, and then one of the Michael Venom Page's interview, he said that MVP said that Shara doesn't deserve the fight with Israel, so I'll be defended my boy, my guy, Israel, and I will be fighting to you instead of Israel. So he called the shot. So very good, exciting fight, very good strikers, unusual strikers, I would say. Especially MVP style of the fighting. We've seen a lot of highlights. We've been watching a lot of highlights of MVP when he fought in Bellator, and then when we talk about uh, in the UFC MVP, as we know, a lot of fans could say that it was a boring fight against Kevin Holland, but I would not agree. It was a very tactical, very technical fight. Um, you know, and then MVP got the job done, and then fight against Ian Gary. I think that fight should have been um, draw instead of split decision. Even Dana White said that right after UFC 303, he said it was a draw. He believed it was draw actually, not a split decision to Ian Gary. Um, uh, and then Shara Magomedov, man, he's on the he's on the fire right now. So he's the last fight UFC 308, I believe, right? The um how the shot called
Double,
the double
double
back
back
fist.
fist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
double back fist. That was a vicious double back fist, man. Like everybody was shocked and everybody was not expected that coming. And then in that fight, I think Armen Petrosian was leading the fight. I think going to which round was it? Round two, or round three?
I think it was round 3. I believe.
Yeah, yeah. So going to third round, if I'm not wrong, a lot of analysts said that Armen Petrosyan was winning that fight. Actually, going to third fight could be 1-1 or 2-0 to Petrosyan, but Sarah Magomedov, man, put on the show on that night at UFC 308. So I believe in this fight, if if they're gonna follow their plans, fight plans, I think if this fight could go to the distance, and then I think with the decision, uh, Sarah Magomedov will get the job done
Yeah,
over
I think
MVP.
I can see that too. Shara, he's one of the fan favorites. He's a unique guy. But at the same time, Michael Page, Venom Page, he makes his opponents very uncomfortable. He's got a different type of style. It was uncomfortable for Kevin Holland, Ian Gary, and I think that's something he has a really good chance of doing against Shara Bullet. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be an exciting one. Another fight of the night, possibly. We'll see. But I'm excited for this one.
And if I would not be surprised if UFC will give the two bonuses to these fighters, kind of like performance of the night or uh, either, fight of the night. The one of the fight if one of the fighters MVP or Shara Magomedov will get the 100,000, 54 performance or 54 fight of the night, I would not be surprised.
I won't be surprised either. The next one we have coming is this is an exciting one. I mean, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imamov, and Adesanya is on a 2-fight lose streak. He really needs this win. How do you think this is going to play out?
Man, two-time middleweight champion. Only one guy who's been a two-time middleweight champion in history of the UFC in middleweight. We're talking about the only middleweight division. And then, upcoming guy, Nasruddin Imavov, when he fought against Brandon Allen, it was a very dominant performance. I know there was a talking about that right after weigh-in in France, the French Athletic Commission was taking the blood right after weigh-in from the American fighters, not from the French fighters. Because I saw the Brandon Allen's latest interviews in the MMA Junkie, and he's been saying that he had to wait right after weigh-in, going back to his hotel room. He had to wait about 4 hours, just to give him the enough blood to the French Athletic Commission. That's why I think he lost the fight. But anyway, it is what it is. But Nasruddin Imavov, he got the job done against Brendan Allen. He got the job done against Jared Cannonier, which is the kind of like arguably TKO, actually early stoppage, I guess. And then before that, he got the win against Roman Dolidze, if I'm not wrong. So 3-fight winning streak right now. And then Israel Adesanya coming two losses, but he lost only two champions, to be honest. So he
Yeah,
lost only two in title fights, and then this is the first fight. Not This is the first non-title fight since 2019, I believe, for Adesanya. I think in this fight, very very tough pick, actually. Very, very tough fight. Um, you know, Nasruddin Imam he got the very good Muay Thai, very good striking. Even he's from Dagestan originally. He doesn't have very good wrestling, to be honest. Because he didn't want to fight on the ground when he fought against Allen, because Allen got very good jiu-jitsu, high level jiu-jitsu, black belt. but he didn't want to fight on the ground when he fought against Allen. We saw that in Paris. So two strikers, I would say, and I think, man, I don't want to say like 50-50, but um, man, probably I would say 53-47 to Adesanya
Okay,
with decision.
that's big. That's big for him. He definitely needs this win, and I think
Yeah.
if Adesanya wins this fight, he's gonna go on a title run. I think he's hungry to get that belt back. So we'll see.
Let's talk. Let's just make a, let's talk about this. Since you started about it, do you think if Israel Adesanya will get the job done, he's gonna get another title shot, or he has to fight one more fight, probably against, because Dana said right after UFC 311, uh, one of the media member, he asked from Dana, who's gonna be next right after Sean Strickland and Dricus fight. He said probably Hamza. So I agree with that. And then I think, this is my personal opinion, if Israel Adesanya will win this fight against Imavov, I think next fight should be against Caio Borralho. Borralho, yeah, as Brazilians say.
Right. Yeah, I can see that too. I definitely think he needs one more win because Hamza should definitely fight for the title. We've all been waiting for that for a couple of years now, it seems like. But he's always got something coming up. You know what I mean? But he's did a great job his past couple of fights, showing up and being there and getting the W. He's had some big wins. I definitely think he should fight for the title next. But yeah, I could see the UFC having Adesanya fight one more time after this for a title shot for sure.
Yeah, and I think so too. The middleweight division, I think, especially in this coming month, next month in February, there are a lot of top 15 guys that are fighting in the middleweight division. Adesanya, Imavov, who else? Brandon Allen, Anthony Hernandez at the UFC Seattle, Shara Magomedov, MVP, uh, Robokov, the Gregory Rodriguez fighting in the main event at the UFC Apex against Jared Cannonier. A lot of very exciting fights in middleweight division in February, so I'm down for that, for those fights.
Yeah, I'm ready for those too. It seems like every year the fights just keep getting better and better. So we're excited for this. But that was it on the UFC fight night in Saudi. You know, I appreciate you with all the input you gave everybody. Very
Yep.
knowledgeable guy.
Yeah. And then make sure you guys, if you don't want to get this knuckles, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel, The Fighters Republic, and then you guys make sure follow the Instagram page, The Fighters Republic, and also make sure you guys, if you guys speak Kazakh, қазақша сөйлейтіндерге айтып жатырмын. If you guys speak Kazakh, if you guys understand Kazakh, hit my YouTube channel, which is Nur Nurmashulu, NUR space NURMASHULY. And then we got the very good merch, guys, very good hats, which is the Fighters Republic, 2 colors, very good design, very high quality. So anytime, guys, just DM us on Instagram, whatever you want to do, or just to leave the comment on the our contents.
Let's
That's
go,
it.
baby. Let's go. Have a good night, fellas.